Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, depends on what part of the planet you are. This is International Dance Council, Nizhny Novgorod section of the International Dance Council, CID at UNESCO. We have a special event today dedicated to the dances of Africa. And the project by itself is called Dance Africa. This is our third meeting. And the project is organized by Miss Lisa Anish Sutfen. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Well,
Hello.
truthfully, I have to admit, not so much organized by me, but by a number of the people who will be presenting today. I'm still waiting on Professor Richard Sanko. He is the chair of UnityNet Africa. However, changes have occurred, and UnityNet Africa is now UnityNet Global, as we've run across a number of groups that are looking to employ this project and all of its facets. We're working at permaculture, agroforestry, biochar production, and as we build that grid, we're running across a number of artists and athletes in dance cultures, a variety of each. And I'll be showing short videos of these smaller shareholders in the program, as well as have a couple of larger shareholders present their work. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that with our very first video.
Sure. Until the connection will be on with your desktop, I would like to introduce our speakers for today. We will have Professor Carlos Richard Sanko. We will have Mr. Rahman Jamal. Um, hello, Mr.
Hello.
Rahman. Hope everything is very good. Thank you for being with us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you. We have Miss Asia Yu. Um, Hello, ma'am. Hello. Welcome.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hope everything is good and you're ready to have your speech for today.
Everything is
Okay.
beautiful. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. And we will have Lloyd Helferty. I may find Mr. Lloyd. Hello.
He'll
Can
be
you
joining
hear?
us a little later. He's just wrapping up another meeting of the
Oh,
UnityNet cultural group.
okay. So, Miss Lizanish, I may see. Have you shared your screen?
Yes, I believe it's shared. I didn't change any settings. Let me see.
Okay, we may see.
Okay. No,
Oh,
I've got my screen share here. I'm about to turn on the very first of our videos. And this is Cesar Sakala. He runs a medical clinic in the Desda region of. And here we go on load.
Miss Lisa Nish, if there are some text, you may comment until because we have people who are not only visual, also they're audio. So it would be nice to have some explanation of what's going on there.
Oh my goodness. Stop that thing. Let me see about breaking out of this screen and coming back to you.
We can see you.
Thank you. And now what we have next is Professor Richard Sanko, who I believe just entered. Professor, are you ready? Are you available?
Yes.
Oh, he was there. All right. If you could turn your camera on and feel free to present what you represent. You've got about 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Just give me a little bit time. I think. Oh, are you there?
Yes.
Good, great. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From my side is good evening now. I am communicating directly from Sierra Leone, West Africa, and I am representing Unity Net Africa and Diaspora as the continental head. And my name is Carlos Richard Sanko. So today you're going to see exactly what we are doing in Africa and what we intend doing, and how all of us can partner to ensure that we promote what we are doing together with the UN system. Of course, that is our address. You find it um, in Uganda, Kampala. Um, that is the contact if you want to contact us, the email address, and also our cell phones if you want to contact us. Our headquarters is fine in Uganda, Kampala, which is in East Africa. I go to the next slide. This is our official logo. You can see the attachment around it. I'm going fast because of the limited time I have, and I have so many slides. We, of course, we are working with the 17 UN development goals as you see them. Um, these are some of our associate organizations or countries. These are just samples of them. Of course, this one is the global one, the Global Unity Network. For this one is the Unity Net Uganda, where we have our headquarters, secretariat. We have Unity Net Sierra Leone. We have Unity Net Nigeria. Of course, we have the Global Unity Focal Club. We have Unity Net Kenya, Unity Net Ghana, Guinea, South Africa, Nigeria, DR Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Benin, and almost like we have 30 functional UnityNet African country. So this is exactly what we're doing. So the UnityNet Network Africa and Diaspora is a humanitarian enterprise, sustainable and regenerative development cooperation, supporting and promoting the local delivery of regenerative climate smart infrastructure set up as life learning gardens. We are leveraging a unique for localizing the delivery and achievement of the the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Uh, the Unity Network Africa and Diaspora is based in Africa, and it has its headquarters in Uganda. That is the address as you've seen it. Okay. We are created something called we have created something called the UnityNet Africa and Diaspora from the Global Unity Network Business Foundation in Canada. And also we have the aspect of it in Sierra Leone and Kenya. These are the three countries that came together to establish what we call the Global Unity Network Development Program. And so today we have it in so many areas in the world, which is focused on the cost-effective delivery of humanitarian and entrepreneurship-focused learning programs, education, and training for what are called regenerative development solutions for and with all of the creative entrepreneurial youth and female humanitarian entrepreneurs of the world, and especially for those in currently marginalized countries, especially in the least developed marginalized countries in Africa. Go to the next slide. Our vision also to benefit from the development and implementation of the regenerative economy is required for humanity balance with all of the rest of the natural world as mandated by the limitations imposed upon humanity by the laws of nature. A world infrastructure and structured delivery of education and training in humanitarian entrepreneurship, and which will be done in the context of the various sustainable regenerative physical, cultural, and STEM-based solutions that will be required for humanity to achieve the global goals, starting with the Sustainable Development Goals. Delivery of the vision will be done via the establishment of both virtual and physical education and training infrastructure that will facilitate the delivery of the local and practical learning for regenerative and circular economy. The network will also provide opportunity towards uniting people in local communities with each other and with other communities around the world by supporting and promoting female and feminist humanitarian entrepreneurs who are focused on the local delivery of the global goals within their own communities and who have focused on achieving food security and helping to meet the nutritional requirements for all members of their own local community in a way that seeks to leave no one behind. Our mission to familiarize the process of localizing the global goals, starting with the Sustainable Development Goals, and establish a framework and platform for delivering the education and training for achieving a regenerative economy that leaves no one behind. The Unity Network Africa and Diaspora Organization will assemble honest, passionate, skilled people from around the world or within Africa who will in turn become brokers of a better future and who can work, and who can work together as per SDG 17, partnerships for the goals towards the common goal of achieving a regenerative economy that leaves no one behind through a process of implementation that will be co-created, often in real time by the members of the network. The Global Unity Network is an example. Of course, the Unity Africa and Diaspora is an example, and also our chapter networks. And that will allow humanity individually and collectively to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, and perhaps most important, spiritually. Our activities. One, established country chapters in the 55 countries, North, South, West, East, Central, and the diaspora units. Uh, Development, sorry, this one's supposed to be development of policies, projects, and establish strong partnership for funding opportunities for all the 55 African chapter countries. All African countries chapters collaborate and support local organizations work at community level. Neighborhood empowerment, economic development, social entrepreneurship, and civic engagement utilizing concepts of regenerative design and sustainability to enhance and make positive change in the world around us. Preserve cultures, promote education, and encourage wealth creation models at the local level to impact our immediate neighbors, tribes, villages, towns, and cities. Whereas the highest aim of sustainable development is to satisfy fundamental human needs today without compromising the possibility of future generations to satisfy theirs, the end goal of regenerative design is to redevelop systems with absolute effectiveness with support to the co-evaluation of the human species along with other thriving species. Um, as we look past the SDGs, so I told you about, of course, the education training and other practicals we are planning. One of our main social purpose goal is to leave no one behind. I already mentioned about that. So therefore, some of our core areas of uh, looking at operations, sorry, is the interchange for peace delivery through a virtual collaborative network, which is a 3D virtual business, an exchange platform that has a number of built-in tools for communication and exchange. And number two is a physical unity garden set up in local communities, which serve as real-world collaborative classrooms where both in-person and virtual learning can take place, and that allow youth and, of course, the FFHE to undertake hands and learning in the various practical solutions for achieving a future regenerative economy at local level in their own communities. The goal is to deliver the learning programs. As I mentioned, of course, part of which we have the STEM, which we all know science, technology, engineering, arts, creative, innovative, and mathematics. So as um, Madam Lisa saying about the issue of arts and entertainment and culture promotion is one of our thematic area of focus. Thank you. Um, our key thematic, of course, managing the Unity Network, African Diaspora, a network of 55 African country chapters. That's one. Of course, I told you our overall goal is leaving no one behind. As two is a source and coordinates funding for 55 African countries in partnership with local organizations working at community level. Number three, Unity Network promotes a transparent and accountability system for its operations and its partnership. Four, implementing a unique process of community engagement that has been developed and tested in various communities since late 2019 we started, and as per plan 2064. And this is the board. I just want to, of course, we have a board member of 14 people. And the next one, of course, the board. We just want to talk about our successes for now, as we just started. Currently, a continental secretariat based in Kampala, I already told you, which is in the processes of establishment vis-a-vis the physical infrastructure, as well as also the virtual infrastructure system. Uh, uh, Also, another aspect of it is setting up the policy system uh, in terms of transparency and accountability system. And another one is the establishment of a board at continental level, working in partnership with all the 55 countries and also plus the diaspora and with our global partners. And number five is the establishment of a weekly meeting or training or discussional session that we have every Mondays. We want to invite you to join us because it's a session we invite partners at global level to look at what we are doing and what we intend doing and how we are all going to do it in partnership to support African to rebrand. At six, we are a website currently. So as soon as it becomes official, we will notice you as partner. Seven is, of course, we have currently written two important projects. One is called the Abrahamic project, which is that we want to reorganize or remodernize Mother Earth, ensure that we fill Africa with trees, with trees or fruit trees of whatever you call it, to ensure that people have it as a source of economic livelihood to support their socio-economical problems. Of course, the other one is we are developing. Okay, we have already completed an integrated poverty alleviation project that we are going to share with partners very soon. Um, for the challenges we have is partnership, funding opportunities to support the, the intended objectives, and of course, for now, lack of funding or logistical support to support or to address uh, administrative uh, needs as UnityNet Africa diaspora in Africa. This is exactly for now, and also want to say we have 30 countries that are currently in functional and that are operating. So we are coordinating at African level in all the regions, the north, the west, the south, the central, the east, and of course, and other diaspora units, and together with our global partners. And so basically, uh, this is where we are. This is what called us UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. And Madam Lisa is one of our major partners that is always functional and always dedicated, committed to ensuring that she's in partnership with us in Africa, support our processes of development, our plans and everything. So what she's doing, we are doing a collaborative work and promoting all, as we said, leaving no one behind. So I thank you once again for this opportunity to present what we're doing as UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. Thank you. Once more again, my name is Carlos Richard Sanko. I am the Continental President for UnityNet Africa. I'm also the Continental Representative for ICD University and ICD University Eco Village and Global Social Business Partnership based in Washington. We are expanding it in Africa to promote what we call localization of deliveries. And also, I have my own organization called Focus on Rural Development Organization, which is a national non-governmental organization supporting community-based organizations or national organizations in Sierra Leone and consultancy or in partnership in delivery. Thank you once again. And I am also a member of the or a co-founder of the Global Unity Network found in Canada, Sierra Leone, and Kenya. Thank you once again.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Sanko. I'm so pleased you were able to make it here today and give us so much information. Um, just yesterday, I spoke with a representative out of South Sudan who made it very clear that the biggest issue they have in that area is an influx of over 1 million refugees. And in the neighboring countries, they have up to 7 million more. This is one of the things that has brought these issues to light of sustainability of the land to support the people. And it's a very big project that's being done. I'm meeting new people every single day. And I'm just so thankful to have been able to find you and tap into your great work. Um, During this section of just getting to know the members of UnityNet Africa and the beyond, we have discovered a number of groups, and I would like to share a video of one of these groups, if I can. So let me see, we've got a short video. There it goes again. Wonderful. That back down. Thank you. And the vast majority of the dancers I've found outside of the cultural dances of each region have been those followers of hip hop culture. Extensive study, and of course, you can see a sample of the wonderful work that they're doing in a variety of regions at different levels. We seek to be able to reach out to these individuals and set up a road for them to move forward. And this is part of the structure that we seek, working along with UnityNet Africa, just not for just commerce, but for upward mobility of individuals. And with that, what I'd like to do is introduce Mr. Raman Jamal. He is the executive director of the Hip Hop Congress, which is in half a dozen regions separated all throughout the United States, as well as, is it 6 or 7 other countries? I don't remember. Well, Rahman, I think you can say that best. So let's introduce Rahman Jamal and have at it.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And to be honest, I don't even know how many other countries there are, because the model of Hip Hop Congress is very organic, it's very grassroots. And so part of our goal right now is actually gathering a lot of this data. And it's kind of like a decentralized network that all falls under the vision and the mission statement of Hip Hop Congress. But I want to say, first off, very nice to meet you, Professor Franco. It's really great to hear about the network that you helped create. We're really excited about joining forces globally with this cause. Thank you to Lisa for bringing us to the goal. I want to just give a brief background about what the Hip Hop Congress is, and then I'm going to show some web pages that folks can follow on Facebook and websites as well for some of the initiatives that we have going on here.
Mr. Jamal, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Can you hold your microphone closer to your mouth? There are some outside.
Okay. Well, I'm on my computer, so I would be holding my computer up close. I don't know. Makes my face a lot bigger.
Because it's cutting your voice, and we see clearly what's going on outside, some kind of noise. We cannot hear what you are talking.
Okay. Not sure
It's
what's going
better.
on. Okay. It's not loud where I am, so I'm not sure where the noise is coming in, but if it's good, we're good. Okay, so basically Hip Hop Congress is a grassroots network and umbrella organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. It's been around since 1993, so we're coming up on almost 30 years. And it started off as a network of artists who wanted to basically utilize resources, individual resources, collectively. So it kind of started off as an artist cooperative, and it grew organically in California, having its first community chapters in Northern California, the Bay Area, and then in Southern California. And then in around the turn of the millennium, around 2000, linked up with a student organization in Southern California that just happened to use the same name, Hip Hop Congress. So when they found each other online, there was a conversation around, okay, hey, we already are using this name, Hip Hop Congress. So what are you guys doing? And basically found out that this student organization wanted to bring artists to campus to help spread social awareness in creating a link to the community and culture and the educational institutions. So they ended up joining forces, and this was the birth of Hip Hop Congress as the first iteration of Hip Hop Congress, which lasted about a decade from between the years 2001 and 2010. We kind of grew virally as a network, solidifying the mission of using the hip hop cultural arts to spread awareness. Chapters started popping up almost virally across the country. I joined in 2001 as a first-year student in college, and then the next year ended up inheriting the chapter and running it until I graduated, as the original founders had graduated themselves after my first year. So, but then chapters started popping up. So at one point, at our peak, by the time we hit about 2010, there were over 70 chapters of Hip Hop Congress, and this was around the world, including France, including South Africa. And it was just really a beautiful thing to see, because we were not a top-down organization at all. It was very much grassroots. Every year we would organize a national conference that was hosted by a different chapter collective in a different city in the United States. So we hit 9 major US cities, and this was an opportunity for all of us to build with the local communities in these cities. So we hit San Jose, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Chicago, Athens, Ohio, Seattle, Boulder, Colorado, Biloxi, Mississippi, and Detroit. I think I got them all. And in this process, we basically, like I said, just built this very strong, tightly knit organic network and community that spanned the entire country. And I ended up, one of the major things that we did in 2003 when we were in St. Louis was the initiative in our conference was a hip hop education initiative. And this was inspired by a woman by the name of Martha Diaz, who had a hip hop film festival and was dedicated to elevating the field of what is now known as hip hop education. And she was our keynote speaker. And what she inspired in a lot of us as artists was to view ourselves not just as entertainers, but as educators. And in America, in the United States, if you go into the arts, our education system is very much like a pipeline to become an entertainer. And it's sort of limiting in a way, because being an artist is sort of should be, you know, as freeing for your expression as is, you know, as you can imagine. But the to make a living off of it is very constricting, because there's an industry around that, and a very small percentage of artists are able to actually live off of their talent and their craft. And so by looking at ourselves as cultural educators, this opened up another lane for a lot of us to be able to make a living, and to also start to revolutionize the very field of Western education here in the United States. So for the past almost 20 years, this has been a lane that artists in the network have been pushing by going into schools, by creating our own curriculums, by adapting our art forms and how we teach to the curricular standards, so that when we go into schools, students are getting a quality educational experience that they can even use for things like college credit, and the transformative process of bringing the arts and really integrating the arts back into our core subjects, right, is really the discovery that I think has come out of this work. Here in the States, a lot of our arts education is a separate subject, meaning we have our language, we have our math, we have our science, and we have our history, and then we have our art class. And what we've discovered is that what actually works much better is the way that we teach our youngest, right? Which is when the song and the dance and the movement and the creativity is all part of the learning process. And we found that the results are that when you integrate the arts into each of these subjects, and really if you just look at music alone, music is a vehicle to get into understanding math, into understanding science. It covers all of the core subjects. So we're really kind of at the beginning of a educational revolution in the States, and it's coming through our artists and our culture. I want to share just a couple things for folks, and then I'll talk about how this has shown up. So is this sharing here? Can everybody see this? It says H2E2. Looking at that? Okay. All right. So H2E2 is actually the first statewide hip hop education initiative in the United States. It is starting in California. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but this is a major thing because it is the first time that a Department of Education has supported hip hop education in its public schools. And so we are beginning to organize this coalition of teaching artists, of school administrators, and of teachers who are in support of integrating hip hop culture into its classrooms. This is our Facebook page. It is Facebook/HHC National. So for those who are on Facebook, please send us a follow or like the page. Currently, we have about 3,600 people connected on here. Look at that. Why is that going there? Where is this thing? Sorry, I know you guys are seeing this favorite thing pop. There we go. All right, so I just want to scroll down. Oh, look at that. There's Global Unity Network. We do share all of the activity that we have that comes across my plate. I do share it on this site. So what we're talking about today is represented up there. Over to the left here, you'll see a video. This is a very interesting aspect of local community, of us supporting local community here in San Francisco, which is actually how I got connected with Lisa. There's an artist who, by the name of Lonnie Green, who is basically a representative of the local dance, inner city dance culture of San Francisco, that because of the way that the entertainment industry works in America, basically got overlooked when hip hop started taking the entertainment world by storm. And so he's been preserving his art form of strutting for the past 40 years, and basically been protecting it against it being lost or sort of absorbed by the many movements and styles of dance that oftentimes get mixed up through people trying different things and outside cultures wanting to learn different styles. But a lot of these original styles are at the risk of getting watered down because of that. And so he's created an entire educational resource for strutting, which is part of the lineage of a lot of popular hip hop dance that a lot of people don't know about just because it was never documented. So I'm just going to scroll down this page. We do meet weekly on the Clubhouse app. So if anybody is on that app or wants to be on that app, it's free. It's open to all. You can click this link and it'll join you in. And basically what this is it's almost like a community podcasting app. So you can click these links every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and listen in to some of the conversations that we have from folks all across the world, and as well as join in if you would like to share any of the work that you're doing. The motto of Hip Hop Congress is "You don't join us, we join you." And so we really are kind of a network-based organization that wants to share our collective resources with folks who are aligned with our mission. Scrolling down a little bit, this was in recent news. We had a rally. There's a movement in California to get children aged kindergarten through second grade tested early for dyslexia and reading difficulty, which affects a lot of people. I think about 20% of the population. But there are no requirements to test young kids for this learning difference, and a lot of kids suffer from it. In fact, unfortunately, in California, a lot of kids that don't get the proper support end up dropping out of school and end up going into, especially for children of color, going into the prison, into the school to prison pipeline. There are some really deep data around reading ability and private prison business. Scrolling down here, so we promote dance workshops. Again, this is Lonnie Green, that's Pop Tart. Right now, we're doing also another discussion series called Oakland and the World, which looks at the local issues happening in Oakland, California, home of the Black Panthers. And there's a lot of activity happening in America of the extreme right, basically the agenda of your elite billionaires and multimillionaires trying to control our political system, and those of us on the ground floor being vigilant about that and having to strategize against some of those moves that are being made, which look like the closing of public schools and the rise of charter schools that start off sounding really good in theory, but end up being ways for public school money to be diverted into private interests and then controlled by those private interests. So we really are kind of like a merger of arts, education, and activism. This is kind of cool. We recently were able to connect with a Tony Award-winning hip hop show on Broadway that's now on national tour called Freestyle Love Supreme. And I was able to be a featured artist when they opened in San Francisco. And now we're connecting them with our artist network from around the country. And they'll be in Portland next. This is some activity going up on the East Coast. This is a professor at a college who is bringing hip hop to the campus. One of our newer chapters, but they're just on fire. And so you can kind of see just the diversity of activity that we do. Oh, here's a very important article that Asia is going to talk about in a little bit. But this is an amazing story of how hip hop culture was able to come to the aid of Afghani refugees who are also breakdancers. And I think this is really relevant to the conversation that we're having, that hip hop is this billion-dollar industry. So if it really needs to be able to spread the wealth of that so that nobody is being left behind, as Professor Sanko was saying. And this is a beautiful example of that. So we'll hear from Asia more about that in a second. This is another important article. We lost an incredible artist to misuse of force by private security in a hospital, no less. And we're on the front lines of bringing awareness to this. This artist is named Zumbi from a group called Zionai, who is very connected to his African roots and representing that in the United States. This is a very tragic story, but we want to elevate his life and his legacy as much as possible. So this gives you kind of an idea of the type of work and the diversity of work that we do. This is another OG dancer who passed away, and some of our work. So I just want to share that. I will share that in the chat. This is that was our Facebook page. This is our website. Talks about our mission, history. So you can see a very diverse group of individuals. Here's our board of directors. We got Asia right there. Shout out. I'm so glad that she's here with us today. We have an artist network. We have a chapter program. The beautiful thing about this is that anybody can start a chapter. No financial investment needed. Yet, if you want to get more out of the network, we are building in sort of a entrepreneurial aspect of our network, so that much like the business development, so that we can have upward mobility in that way. So we welcome that with anybody that wants to start a collective. Like I said, we will join you and definitely create a two-way street. If we go to h2e2initiative.com, you will be taken to the Hip Hop Education Center's page for this initiative, and you can read more about this grant program. Some of the people that we have, this is Layla Steinberg. She was the first mentor and manager of Tupac Shakur, universal name. We're just bringing all professionals that are experienced in this field together so that we can build the future for the next 15 to 1,000. I really love the format that Professor you were presenting on. We do need to think that far ahead in advance when it comes to this type of this type of transformation in the world. So I will conclude with that. I will share some links in the chat, and thank you again for having me on this great platform.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Ramon. It's very clear that the system that you have built is extensive. We'll be extending that even more by connecting you with artists and athletes on the African continent. Next, I'd like to introduce Asia Yu, who is also here on the West Coast of the United States. She has an awful lot to say, so I am just going to go ahead and hand it over to her. It's all yours, Asia. Could you unmute, please?
I need to be unmuted. Okay, wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Asia Yu. And I know you don't know me, but I'm a B girl, a female break dancer. I've been breaking for around over 25 years, and just a member of hip hop culture, as well as, I run a nonprofit organization called No Easy Props. And our mission is to, it's twofold. It's actually to proliferate hip hop culture and preserve hip hop culture as well. So for community benefit, and a lot of the work we do is really representing a hip hop culture from a multi-generational standpoint. And we believe in intergenerational learning, the elders teaching the younger group and stimulating that mentorship and that responsibility over and over and over. So yeah, I guess I can just jumping off what Ramon kind of mentioned. So, you know, I could say in the United States, hip hop culture, as far as the traditional culture that is involved with the dance, the art of graffiti, the music of rap music, and the DJ being the core, and then the community being the hub of all that activity. This is a culture and a lifestyle that we're always trying to regenerate, and we're always trying to re-promote, because essentially in the United States, hip hop is marketed and branded as anything that Black youth do here in the United States. It's just called hip hop. And that could be positive and negative in a way, because a lot of times what we hear now coming that's more popular in the airwaves, they're just calling this hip hop music, when it's really, it doesn't embody a lot of the aspects of what hip hop music is about, which is really about social justice music, right? It's about music that speaks from many different perspectives, especially perspectives of people that have been oppressed, not engaged in the process of these systems, other than being people that are oppressed by systems. So it's one of those things that our organization, we feel very passionately about, always re-promoting and re-illustrating what hip hop culture is really about, and making sure that youth in certain very marginalized areas of the United States have access to hip hop culture, because we know that hip hop culture is something that can help a person in many, many ways. We know it can help a person physically. We know it can help a person mentally. We also know that it could help a person emotionally learn to express themselves and have agency for themselves and their own determination. So we know that hip hop culture isn't just about taking those four elements that we mentioned that hip hop is about and being professionals, that it's actually the process of what happens to a person while they engage in these artistic elements that develops them to go out in the world and be the best version of themselves that they can actually be. So that's why we really do believe in the power of hip hop culture. So let me share a few things with you. I'm going to share my screen here. I hope that this works like this. I don't exactly know. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our program reel for No Easy Props. Okay, I'm gonna also just show you the Guardian. I'm going to show you one other little reel that we have to show you guys here. This is our hallmark event called the B-Boy B-Girl Summit. Well, thank you for enjoying that as well. The last thing I'll share with you is the Save Afghan Hip Hop Project, what that's about, so you can understand a little bit more about this. And again, I'll put this link in the chat, but essentially, we decided to come along a group of Afghan B-boys and B-girls that were essentially they had to flee Afghanistan, and along with 20 of their family members. So it's a group of around 21 people that we have been raising money to support their living costs as they hide in a neighboring country illegally for around 6 months, helping them get lawyers and essentially advocating for them to get to another country. So this article right here was written by The Guardian, and it's a really great article. I'll share the link in the chat that really talks about the ability that we have as hip hop, as the community all around the world, to come together to basically come alongside people that are suffering and need help. So that's what we did in a nutshell. And currently we are helping them hopefully get to Spain. But again, if it wasn't for just people in hip hop culture coming together and raising money for this process, you know, they would be stranded, and they could even be subject to torture and jail and who knows what else. So anyway, I will put that link in the chat, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let me see how I do this. Okay, I think I'm back. Let me just stop sharing. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit about the type of work our organization does. We're involved in the Olympic discussions as well, about breaking in the Olympics and what's going on with that. And I think that we're most valuable, our organization and myself, as just an organization that believes in linking all the voices together, linking people together from different generations, making sure that things are inclusive instead of exclusive, making sure that we're providing space for conversations to happen. We just did an event that really talked about what women go through as B-girls, you know, who are subjected to abuse at the hands of other hip hop members, and what that's about, and how we can stop that and support, you know, B-girls. So we host a lot of different types of events that really deal with our culture and how we could be better and how we could do better in our world and in our communities. So that's what we're about. That's what I'm about. That's kind of my stance in general. I'm always down to be a part of unity. I'm down to be a part of us as members of the global community organizing to be unified and not expecting this to happen through the government, not expecting it to happen from other people, but just honestly by those of us that care and want to work together and help one another wherever we are. I don't think I have too much more to share than that. I will put my information in this chat as well as the one on YouTube. And just again, I'm very happy to be here sharing time with you today, talking about hip hop culture. Thank you.
Well, and you've done a fabulous job with what you've put forward, Asia. I couldn't be more pleased. The amount of work that you have done in terms of just sheer outreach has been phenomenal. And of course, there's far more stories that are to be told than what we have here. So I encourage everybody to seek out No Easy Props, seek out Hip Hop Congress National to get more information as to their work and how they're going to be fitting in with the UnityNet process. And with that, I'd like to introduce our last presenter, Mr. Lloyd Helferty, based in Toronto. He is running this structure for UnityNet Africa, UnityNet Global, and UnityNet just keeps expanding its processes. It's seemingly on a daily basis. So I'm going to let him present. Lloyd, the floor. We can't hear you. I believe he'll be coming back.
Yeah, sometimes it needs a time because the platform by itself is eating a lot of memory until the computer is digesting. So it needs some time. Mr. Lloyd is back. Hello. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you. Your microphone is on. I don't know why when you type on the keyboard, we can hear the typing, but your voice we cannot hear. Maybe you may restart your computer.
Yeah, I think we'll be trying that again.
Yeah,
Just
Ms.
wait.
Lizanis, thank you so much for the whole day, for all this session, for all these 3 sessions that we had. It's amazing. It's and so many things that I didn't know was highlighted. I found out that there are many issues that need solution and the attention of the world.
Well, there are so many stories to be told. Um, the hip hop culture is actually the largest culture for the arts on the planet. And it has been grossly underrepresented in major media. And of course, we've had many businesses that have made a fortune off of hip hop by doing both positive and what we could see as negative things. The current issue here, of course, is control of breaking, which is a portion of hip hop culture and really can't exist without it, as it is its constant source of information, constant source of inspiration, and constant source for the art that is brought forward from that. Um, it is our anticipation that we'll get the attention of the International Olympic Committee, who will set up a review so that hip hop culture can control its own growth, its own sport, and its own future. Um, Beyond that, um, there is going to be a number of issues well, a number of setups that we're going to be doing beyond what Lloyd has been doing. I've been getting pulled into meetings every morning with different sections of UnityNet Africa, UnityNet Global, UnityNet Health, UnityNet as it is in certain countries already uh, structured and built and ready to move forward with suggestions for projects. So we'll be integrating this system with connections from United States as well as other countries, which are already coming on board. Um, UnityNet does exist in Europe and Asia, as well as North America and South America, Australia, and the continent of Africa. So I think that they're going to be encompassing a very large movement in restoration of the planet, restoration of peoples, self sufficiency, and of course, the promotion of what is beyond being the identity, its healing processes. And oh, Lloyd is back. So let's see. Can we hear you, Lloyd?
No. if you may see the settings on this platform, go to settings and see what kind of audio you have connected. Anyway, Ms. Lizanis, if the technical issue will not be solved, we could transform the lecture and the speech of Mr. Lloyd for the next time. It's
right.
not a problem. We could do rehearsal before connecting. I think there is nothing difficult. It's just some technical moments. There are some
All right.
settings that has to do with the audio connection. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
what
for
you
Zoom
want-
it can work, but for the restream, maybe you need to change the settings. Maybe it goes to somewhere else. I mean,
or a different internal miking system that sometimes works. But my suggestion is that we come up with another day where we can speak with some of our other shareholders in this program, in this project, and then we can hear what Lloyd has to say, because it's quite a lot of information. I know that there are a number of people in the hip hop culture here in the United States that would like to listen to what he's got to say, because this is going to afford an awful lot of avenues for connection, restoration, and forward movement. I'm awfully sorry, Lloyd. Hopefully we'll get this done by the time we set up another date. Ms. Anait, my dearest Anait, thank you so much for hosting all of this. What I'll do is instruct Lloyd to take a look at your site and the calendar so that he can come up with a suitable time. And then we'll move forward with that and very likely pull in even more people to speak, people who have already been connected across continents to get this work done. I want to thank everybody for showing.
thank you all. Yes, thank you all for the
Thank you.
participation.
Thank you so much.
I will remind that our first speaker was Professor Carlos Richard Sampo. We had Mr. Rahman Jamal. We had Miss Asia Yu. And we will have in our coming future Mr. Lloyd Halferty, right? Am I correct? Sorry if I will be mistaken. Ms. Lizanish, I suggest to make our next meeting in May, because you know I'm based in Greece and we are celebrating very soon the Easter. And the Easter is not only one day, it's the preparation, it's also the culture of this. Yes. And by the way, using the opportunity, I would like to invite all of you to take part in my workshop that will help tomorrow at 15:00, 3 p.m. Athens time. I will give a workshop on egg decoration, Armenian traditional way of egg decoration. In order to see the details, you could go to anahit.org Easter.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Or just check the calendar. Thank you so much, Ms. Lizanich, for for organizing today's meeting. We had very precious people here.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate you.
Very
Thank
much.
you. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.